And y'all, I usually pair this meal up with a tortilla. It tastes so good like that. The flavor of the tortilla. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It tastes so good that way. Hi y'all, welcome to my channel. Well, today I'm going to make it's not really a picadillo. I don't even really have a name for it. It's like a kielbasa potato skillet bake or fry. I really don't know what to call it. It's just something I just mixed together one time, and it turned out really good, and so I just started making it all the time. So I'm going to show you all the ingredients. Okay, I have about 8 or 10, 8, 9, 10 small to medium-ish, more medium-ish, I guess. Some of them are a little small potatoes, just regular, just the Idaho potatoes. And then I have a package of Polska Kielbasa, and then I've got a red onion, some bell peppers, and some tomatoes. And I have a huge amount of spices. I'm not going to use all these, but I'm going to talk about some of them. These are the main ones I'm going to use. The salt, pepper, garlic, salt, pepper, and garlic are pretty much the main spices that I use in most of my dishes. And then the onion powder, I've had this for a long time. I just need to use it up, so I'm going to use a little bit of that. You don't really have to put it in if you don't want it. And then some chili powder. And part of the flavor of this comes from seasoned salt or some type of Cajun or soul food or different type of seasoning. So I got a whole bunch of different ones here. And if you don't like a lot of salt, or if you can't have a lot of salt, low salt, you can use like the no salt seasoning here. You can get some of this. It tastes really good. And then I have the seasoning salt. Season it all. This is a Creole blend. This is a Cajun spice blend. And another type of 2 Cajun seasonings. And then the soul food seasoning. So I just use a mixture of whatever I have or whatever I feel like. And you can do it to the taste that you like. If you like a lot of Cajun or spiciness, or if you don't like too much seasoning or salt, you can go with the no salt seasoning. And you can pretty much omit or add whatever seasoning with this, because it turns out really well. It's you should season the dish according to your flavor and the way you like it, because you'll have the taste of the kielbasa and all the other ingredients. But the seasoning is just to bring out, a little extra flavor to it. So just pick whatever you want and add that to the dish. At the end, we'll put most of the spices in. So I forgot I was going to make a video, and I already peeled the potatoes, so these are already peeled. But let me go ahead and get this chopped up and get the vegetables chopped up, and I'll get back to y'all. Okay, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and chop up some of the potatoes. And Miss Piggy here had a little accident with her. Her bottom got broke. I was cooking something, and I pushed her over to the side, and I put her on top of one of the other burners somewhat. I had a whole bunch of stuff on my stove, like pans and spoons and all kinds of stuff, and I just kind of scooted her over, and the bottom part of it happened to be on one of the burners, but it was off, and I was using these burners on this side, and then I needed to use the other side burner, and I turned it on, and I thought I was turning on the back one, but I turned on the one in the front where she was sitting on, and it heated up her bottom, and then it cracked. So I salvaged the butter, whatever I could. So. Oh, my poor little piggy. But I was going to say, I forgot to add, you need some oil. I have vegetable oil. And then you need a frying pan or a skillet, something kind of large. And you don't have to have butter, but I'm just going to add like a little bit of that to the oil. So let me go ahead and get started with the potatoes. And I'm not super great at the frying the potatoes, even though that is like one of the staple dishes here in Texas. We have fried potatoes all the time. But I sometimes tend to, that's one thing I'm not super great at, is frying the potatoes. They stick sometimes, or just don't get them quite right. But for this dish, I like to try to get them a little bit crispy. So I do kind of cut them up somewhat, not super small, but maybe just like, I don't know, ½ an inch or less. Or you can have them a little bigger. I've made them with bigger chunks, but I made this recipe with bigger chunks. But you just kind of chop up the potatoes, get them to a size where you can manage them enough to put all the rest of the other ingredients, because this makes a large portion. You could probably feed like 4 or 5 people off of this, or 1 or 2, and still have leftovers. And it's pretty, it does take a little bit of prep time, and it is a dish that takes a little bit of time to make. So I would make this like on a weekend or a night off, you know, when you're not too tired, because it does have a lot of chopping and a lot of frying the potatoes. And so this is not like a super easy quick meal, because I've been making just like really super easy quick stuff, but this one does take a little bit of time and effort. So kind of plan for it on, like, tonight is Sunday for me. I don't know when. I hope I'll get this video up tonight, but if not, tonight is Sunday night, and you know, my night off, and so I'm going to, I'll have enough time to spend doing all the chopping and doing all this. Takes a while, maybe, I want to say like maybe 30 minutes to cook, to get it all fried up. 30 to 45 minutes at the most, probably. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and chop the rest of these, and then I'll chop up the rest of these, and I will get back to y'all. Okay, so y'all, I chopped up some tomatoes, and they're pretty good size. They're not a small cut. They're like a little over ½ inch to an inch cut, because I'm gonna put those in last. And here's I think it was 8 or 9 potatoes, actually, I can't remember. And this is 2 links of the kielbasa, and I did use only about 3/4 of that red onion, because I wanted to use some of it in a salad that I'm going to make. And then the bell pepper, I used almost 2, but I left just a little chunk so that I could also put that in a salad. So if there's something you don't like, or if you don't like a whole lot of onions, if you don't like red onions, substitute that with white onion or yellow onion. Or if you don't like bell pepper, take it out. Or if you don't like as much, you know, you can, this is a recipe where you can adjust all the ingredients to whatever you like. Okay, I'm gonna start frying these potatoes, and then we'll start adding everything else into it, and we'll see what. Okay, y'all, I put about maybe a little less than a quarter cup of oil in here. And I put a little bit of butter. And I didn't put all the potatoes in there. I'm probably going to have to cook it in 2 batches because, like I said, this is a large recipe. And it is, I'm going to have to turn on the vent, so I hope y'all can hear me. Wearing my paper towel here. I had a lot of grease splatter, so I was trying to minimize it. But I put just a little bit, maybe like a tablespoon of butter in it. You don't have to put the butter in it if you don't want to, but I do put the cooking oil in it. It needs, enough oil to fry. So this is going to take quite a while. Like I said, it's a pretty timely recipe. It takes quite a while. The prep, I am atrocious at chopping. My chopping skills are atrocious, so it takes me a lot longer. I'm not very fast at that, so, and I'm going to show y'all the way that I cut the bell peppers in kind of like long strips like that, probably like 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and the same with the onions. So you don't have to chop them real little. It saves you time, and also I think it makes the recipe better. It's like bigger chunks of the onions and the bell peppers. That way you get a really good taste of the vegetables. And with the kielbasa, I cut these into like probably kind of like fat little rounds, and then I cut them in half. And you can make like rounds and just not cut them. You can fry them up like that, or you can cut them smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and cook these potatoes, and then we'll be adding in the vegetables after I get them cooked. Okay, y'all, now when the potatoes are about halfway done, go ahead and add the sausages, the kielbasa, and you want it to be timed kind of evenly. So don't cook your potatoes all the way, just so they're about halfway done. Then you're going to add the kielbasa, and with that cook, I'm going to try to get it to cook pretty much on one side, and then I'm going to mix it all together. But I'm just trying to get the kielbasa to cook. It kind of speeds up the meat cooking. Okay. Then I'll mix it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and get this fried up, and then I'm going to add the onions and the bell peppers as soon as the kielbasa is about halfway done. Okay, y'all, I have mixed all of the vegetables. I've got everything fried to the best consistency. Make sure the bell peppers are, sauteed pretty good. They're softened up enough. And I did get my kielbasa a little bit toasty on one side, but I like a little bit of toastiness to things. But I put in the end all my seasonings, and I'm fixing to put the tomatoes in it. So let me get those real quick. Okay, y'all, so I added the tomatoes, and you want to add the tomatoes at the very end just to make sure that you just want to wilt them. You don't want them to get, it doesn't take very long for tomatoes to cook down. So you want them just to get a little bit wilted, and just to add that tomatoey flavor. And I'm going to tell you all the spices that I use. Ooh, that one's a little toasty there. Yeah. But I did use the trio of garlic, salt, and pepper. Like most of my cooking, I use that. Then I used the onion powder, and then I used just a little bit of chili powder. I didn't put too much chili powder in it, but I did put quite a bit of the Cajun seasoning, and then I used some of this seasonal, or this Creole seasoning. Actually, I did not add the Cajun seasoning. It was back here, and I kind of forgot, but I use a Creole seasoning, and I season mine pretty heavily. It's up to you what kind of, how much seasoning you want in it, but there it is. And this is just the half of, you could actually make a half of the recipe just using one of the kielbasas, maybe like 4 or 5 potatoes, 3 to 5 tomatoes, depending on how big or how much you like, and then maybe 1 bell pepper, and that would be enough for like 1 skillet full. But I did half the recipe. I'm going to have to cook the other half. I like to make a lot of this, and then I put it in the freezer. I make little freezer meals out of it. But it is really good. It's really tasty. Okay, well, thank you all, and y'all have a good night.